Hi guys, and welcome to How's It Rate. My name's Chico and I'll be your host today. Today we're going to be doing video number 5, which covers another one of our necessary knives in the kitchen, and this time it's going to be a serrated slicer. I don't really call it a knife because it's not. It's a slicer, and it's not meant for chopping or any other purpose. It's meant for slicing. The construction of a serrated knife, as you can see close up, it's got like little sawtooth going on the edge, and that helps to slice things. The only problem is with this type of a knife, being that they're only serrated on one side, is that the knife has a tendency to travel. So it doesn't go straight down, it travels on one side or the other depending on which side the serrations are on. Also, serrated knives or serrated slicers come with a handle that would go straight out from the blade, and the blade is straight. This one happens to be built a little bit differently, and I prefer it because, like on the chef's knife where we didn't have the clearance, this one allows me to keep my knuckles off of the board, okay, before the knife makes contact with the cutting board. All right, and it has a slight angle, slight curve to it. A lot of the serrated knives will not do that, but when you're looking for one, you have to remember you don't use a serrated knife on a lot of things. Mostly I use it for bread. It can be used to slice vegetables, okay, but you're going to have to slice. You have to actually slice. It will not work as a chopping knife. That being said, I personally only use it for products such as bread. It doesn't do me much good on vegetables. I prefer a chef's knife. One of the reasons is because it travels. The other reason is because I can get a finer cut with the chef's knife, assuming that it's sharp. So let's see how it works on bread. Okay, now on a regular knife with a regular straight blade, what happens is there's so much surface area going across, even though it's very sharp, that surface area lays on the bread, and it just won't go through, and you end up putting more pressure on it and more pressure on it, and finally it crushes the bread before it actually cuts. Whereas this acts like a saw, and as the knife travels across, those little points dig into the crust of the bread. And one of the things you'll see on TV a lot is they'll show one of these things slicing through a tomato, and the guy who is doing it is using this knife correctly, and he's using a regular knife that's probably very dull incorrectly by pushing down and not slicing. Okay, this knife here, if you use it correctly on something soft, this is this bread I made this morning. It's a Cuban loaf, and it's a soft crusted one that I've made. Matter of fact, if anybody wants the recipe and how to do it, I can show you that. Just leave a comment below and I'll be happy to share that with you. But you take the knife and just draw it across the bread, and you can see that it instantly goes through, and the serrations are on this side. The knife wants to travel to that side because of those serrations. So as you can see, it cuts through very nicely. I was able to get down to the board without straining or getting my knuckles in the way. Now that was a straight cut. But if you want your bread to look good when you're serving it, what you want to do is do a cut on an angle. All right, so that one obviously is straight. This one's on an angle, but we can't use that. I'm not going to throw it away. But as you can see, it looks a little nicer as compared to a straight round cut. I've got a nice angle there. Okay, you can use this for a bruschetta or just plain, but we butter it. Nice with a salad. But in any case, that is the purpose of a serrated knife, used very much for breads. And how do I rate it? Well, I give the serrated knife a 5 because it's very difficult to cut bread properly without one. It's just not a good thing with the other knives. It's not, doesn't work very well. So, you heard it here. Hope this information has been useful, and hope to see you in the future. Until then, stay safe and be good. Bye-bye.